Did you say to him after he
Okay.
brought you back up again?
So I was unconscious. He stabilized me and waited for me to come back to consciousness. As I came back to consciousness, I believe he said something along the lines of, uh, "It seems like you need a little bit more practice."
More training. I can
And
refer you to
yeah,
some instructors, so something like that.
okay. So I stood up, did second wind twice,
Yes,
and said, "Well, then let's go back at it,"
sounds good.
and readied myself back up.
And he agreed to fighting again.
Um, so I am going to take that unidentified consumable,
Where?
that one.
Oh, excellent.
I don't know what it does. It's an unidentified consumable.
Nice.
What exactly happens to me as I take this green fluid that I have no idea what it is?
It disappeared from your inventory. Let's refund source and look at it now. It casts the enlarge spell, and that lasts for 3 hours.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right. So I wonder what exactly that does in the character sheet. Oops.
Oh,
I did not mean to
also,
move.
yes, I need to change that as well. Um, no, not 12, 2. Nope, not 22. There you go.
There we go.
And I'm gonna, for the sake of being in combat, lock him to a spot.
Okay. As I'm kind of now standing with one foot on the ground and one foot on the table,
Yep.
my shield is grown with me, and so is my sword,
Mm-hmm.
I assume. Otherwise, I'm holding the toothpick. As I ready myself up and say, uh, I'm going to down my one health potion
Noted.
that I have and
All of
say,
these actions are fine to be done outside of your action economy for combat.
okay. I'm just prepping for the next round. I know I need to be as good as possible
Correct.
because there's otherwise there's no point.
Yes.
Um, I don't know if you do rolled healing or not, so I rolled it.
Yes, rolled healing.
Okay. All right. So I'm at 15, a little less than half.
Even with second wind twice?
Yep. I only got like 8 and 6 or something.
Huh.
Six, or no. Where is it? Wow, I went way high on accident. Yes, please. Man. Oh, I think my stuff got deleted
It did.
when we closed. I don't know.
No,
It was like
I
eight
manually
and
deleted
six or
the log.
something like that. Okay.
I trust
Um,
whatever you say was there.
yeah, I applied the healing to myself, but it was just really fucking low.
Hmm.
Um, so I'll prep. Do that's all the prep that I can really do for myself. Um, come on, give me my character sheet back. I'm gonna look at the shield, look at him, look at the shield, be like, this was fucking useless, and throw it. I'm gonna literally just like chuck it at the wall. Like I don't need a shield if he can just bypass it with magic. And then I'll shink out my claws
Mm-hmm.
on my left hand and hold my sword and like with my claws out on my right hand still and just essentially rage without raging
Noted.
and short sword attack, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, my last attack hit him. So I'm gonna roll that again because that last short sword attack hit him, so I have advantage on the next attack against him, unless you roll that
No,
combat ended.
yeah, combat ended because you went unconscious.
Okay, so no advantage.
Yeah.
Did that roll? I think so.
No.
Yes, it did.
But that 16
It
did.
just
I
popped.
thought you were doing a second one, which is not. I don't know why you were doing a second one. Because, yeah, I don't know why I thought you were doing a second one. There it is, okay.
22.
22 does hit.
So he doesn't rage because he doesn't have that
Yeah, he just gets more
thing.
aggressive with it.
He got more aggressive, but I would say it's not in his personality to be aggressive. I think that would have been a feint. And he wildly swung the sword at him.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
And as the wild swing, he kind of just dodged it like, "Oh, you're angry." As he dodged it, I just reached up and like stabbed him in the rib cage with my claws as a way of like that demonstrating to him that was a faint anger.
Excellent. -11.
Is there any other mechanic that happens within large other than just growing a size?
There is. So, let me look. I think there's strength bonuses. Advantage on strength checks and saving throws for a minute. But,
Okay.
I mean, that's
Sure.
because the spell is supposed to last a minute, but the potion lasts
Yeah,
an hour.
so the
Or
extent
3
of
hours.
the potion.
Yeah, so strength checks
Okay.
and saving throws,
All right.
but not extra damage or other things like that.
Okay. I was making sure it didn't give me a plus anything to strength because that would have increased the amount of damage I did.
There is no, it does not apply generic strength. It's specifically check, save, throw, not attack.
Understood. All right, and I think that's the end of my turn.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me an Arcana check?
All right. I do not want to roll that on Orphindars. That would have been really easy to get a good Arcana check. Is this something I've seen before and can have advantage on?
Nope.
Okay.
Excellent. You have heard about this as you see similar to his shield, the reflective magic shield that you've definitely seen other Eldritch Knights use. There is an invisible wall that shows up between you. So let me verify here. I need to read through this completely first. Okay. Physically. Okay. Great. So I'm going to try something here and see if this works. I'm going to... Where are... There they are. Okay, let's try this. See if I can draw this right. That's not right. That's the wrong one. Go away. Here is what I'm looking for. I don't think I see it. I'm trying to find here. Let's copy, paste. Ah, does that block? I don't know what's happening. I can't do anything here. Okay. So we'll go with this. The reflective surface that you see goes like, oops. We'll do that. There you go.
Okay, so I'm imprisoned.
You see a reflective thing that goes, kind of shimmer that goes from floor to surface, but it's faint. In other words, player knowledge, the Arcana check that you saw or did barely hit the noticeability for the, what is it, a wall of force.
Okay.
And then he's just going to move back and sit there.
Okay. So does this wall of force seem like offensive or just a way of locking me in place until something wears off?
It seems to be a way of locking you in place until your buff goes away.
Okay.
Which he doesn't necessarily expect the potion to last an hour. He knows enlarge reduce is a minute.
Okay.
So he's not expecting that potion to go the way it's going.
Okay. Was it so is this the end of his turn?
Yeah, let me do that. Thank
Okay. I'll look at the wall
Mhm.
and look back at him and say, was it wrong of me to presume that you wanted me to use all of the tools at my disposal?
Oh, you are correct. I wanted you to use all the tools at your disposal, but your enemy will do the same.
Understood. I just wanted to make sure the rules of engagement were clear and understood.
They were clear and
As
understood. He says back to you.
how far is the ceiling from me?
This does go floor to ceiling, but it is 20 feet. Or I guess 10, let me look.
Because
I'd
I
say
should be 10 feet tall.
it's 15 feet to the ceiling.
Okay.
But I need to check the spell because I think the spell might be not that, unless it can be upcast, in which case he'll do the upcast for verticality because he knows how it works.
Okay.
He also kind of expects you not to look into that, so we'll go with the verticality of the ceiling is 15 feet up. To answer your question.
Okay.
Oh.
And does the wall seem to extend all the way up to there?
Let's do a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
Because
fair.
I know it's a -3.
Yeah, it's a 0.
It goes all the
I
way up
don't
to the
know.
ceiling.
I'm going to assume it does.
Yep.
So what he is going to do is a standing vertical leap and attempt to break through the ceiling.
Okay. Athletics.
With advantage because of the potion, because that's technically a strength check.
It is. Let me do this first here. Advantage on strength checks. Oh, hold on. It's add a d4 of damage
Okay.
So I will do that roll. Oh, you didn't.
The
Yours is higher.
still the 3.
So we'll use 3. Um,
That was before
yeah,
concentration.
so that didn't happen.
Yep.
But yes, advantage on strength checks.
Okay.
You hit your head on the ceiling. And then
I would have been trying to punch through the ceiling.
Okay.
So, I was trying to Superman through the ceiling.
You did a Super Mario jump up into the ceiling to try to break the brick, and it
Does it look like it broke at all?
It looks like there was a chip.
Okay.
It looks like there's a potential of this working, but you also have to, yeah. Never mind.
Okay.
It looks
so
like it could work.
Seeing that the ceiling wasn't actually breaking, can I stomp on the ground to see if it's solid or if it's seems like there's like a basement or something?
Oh, that's a good point. Okay. Sure. Another athletics, because he is not at this point. It's going to be your turn for a while.
Yeah, I figured. How long does that last?
It lasts 10 minutes. So he as you're working on this, he goes out to like his pantry. So you definitely break through the flooring a bit.
I'm gonna roll that again just to see if I crit, because I accidentally clicked the edge of the button.
Yep.
No, didn't crit, but same roll.
So you see that the flooring breaks, and with how strong that you were able to do it, you can tell that there's nothing besides earth beneath this stone.
Okay.
There's no basement.
All right.
He walks back out with, since that's 2 actions.
Okay.
He walks back out with some food and is sitting in one of the pews, watching what's happening.
Okay. Seeing that there is no, basically no out there, he is going to take his sword and test the barrier. Like, if I hit the barrier, what happens with my sword?
Go for it. Roll an attack roll.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Knowing how Arcana is, that would have been his last resort. If he can't go under or around it, he's going to try to go through it, but he really wants to avoid interacting with a magical wall. At 23.
It just smacks against it, causing a kind of shimmer ripple out from the impact point. There is no repercussion for that. It seems to be very much a impenetrable wall that is immune to all damage.
Okay. I think at this point, seeing that neither option is really working for him, no options are available, he will take a minute, and not necessarily a full minute, but until the force wall drops, he will kind of center himself and put his hands, like one sword on his, with his arm on his left chest and the other hand underneath that.
Okay.
And he'll sit there with his eyes closed, but his perception waiting for the change in the environment when the force wall drops.
Okay. So you're actively perceiving.
Yeah.
Okay, let me look through this again. Give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Okay.
Neat.
rolls are terrible.
Correct. I'm looking here.
I'm holding an action to throw the dagger, by the way.
Excellent.
The dagger that I am purposefully hiding inside my cloak, where I'm hoping he can't see it.
Sure. Let's do a sleight of hand or stealth check.
Do sleight of hand, because neither is great.
Very well hidden.
It's a dagger trying to hide something from a very perceptive elf.
Yep.
I don't expect to be successful. I only expect to demonstrate to him that I am wise enough to use all the tools at my disposal, including deception.
Right.
As the whole intent of all of this is to demonstrate my current capabilities, not to beat him.
Correct. Which is what he's analyzing as well. By putting you in a forced cage, he's trying to see what you're capable of doing to get out of it, or fight something, or deal with whatever. So go ahead and roll a... let's do perception check. The wall is not necessarily super visible and doesn't really have a auditory indication when it goes down. Okay, cool. So you are able to notice that he ends it probably like 3 minutes before it's supposed to probably end.
All right.
So you have your ready action goes off.
Okay. Normal roll, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Shield.
22. Okay.
Oh, actually,
is it my turn?
Well, hold on. He does shield, but it hits anyway. So never mind.
Oh.
He won't do it.
Okay.
Actually, he'll do it as a reaction, expecting you to do it, seeing your dagger hidden, but it hits anyway. So he'll expend a spell slot for it. And he is still sitting down. But that means it is your full turn still, and that was your ready to action.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean the concentration's gone anyway, so let me just end that effect.
Okay.
Effects.
Question on that. When I make the extra or when you make the extra attack of the light property, you can make it as part of the attack action instead of a bonus action. I can do that only once per turn. Okay, that was thrown, so I'd have to move. So that was part of the ready action. Okay. So with my turn, I will move.
You have all of your action economy still because that was a ready to action. That was a reaction.
Right, but what I was gonna do was the Nick was going to give me the sword swipe on him. But that doesn't work with the reactionary action economy. So I will step up to him and stab the sword straight at him.
Okay.
That hit. He still has shield active, I believe.
Yes, he does.
Does that hit? No.
No, it does not.
Okay. Claw attack.
Almost a natural 20. I saw that too.
Annoying. It literally fell on natural 20 and then just like
This
Get
misses as
back
well
over.
as he bites into some like dried rations he has while you're swinging at him.
All right. Don't have any
Even after having a
spells.
dagger stuck in his chest right now.
Oh. Does the unconsciousness count as a long rest
No,
or a short rest at
no.
least? Darn it.
He brought you back up within 6 seconds of you going down.
Yeah, I know. I'll just
The attempt
beg
was
and
made.
borrow and steal for whatever you can get in this world.
Yep.
All right. I guess that's the end of that turn because I can't do anything else.
All right. This is something that he has as a feature of his own. He unleashes an arcane burst by just kind of slightly tapping his foot on the ground. I need a dexterity save from you.
Okay. Dexterity saving. There we go. Normal.
Okay, the DC was 19, so that fails.
Okay. I am going to use my feature.
Yeah. When you fail, you
Oh, wait.
Is that charisma,
I can't.
right?
Nope, I can't. I don't have any short rests left. Never mind.
Okay.
That goes through.
For this much force damage.
Yep, I'm dead. I might be dead.
No, you're not.
No,
I don't
not
rule.
quite.
I don't rule. Half of your max health unconscious. It's your full max health unconscious.
Oh, okay.
The absolute zero of your max health is dead.
Okay.
However, I can't do that because I'm on the drawing plane. However,
Does that end the enlarge effect, or am I just a very large
Oh, that's a good question. We're gonna have to
turtle?
check on that. It might be. I think because it's a potion and not a concentration, it stays for 3 hours.
Okay.
You feel an almost anticlimactic pop, and then nothing happens. All of your non-existent spell slots are harmlessly expended. You may prepare spells as usual after a long rest or after your class dictates.
Good thing I don't have spells.
Correct. And even if you did, it would be what, 3 or 4 levels or slots?
Yeah.
Alright. He will walk over, actually not even walk over, he'll just kind of lean over and do a medicine check until you're stabilized. And then instead of doing anything to like bring you back at all, we'll say he also gave you a health potion, retconning a little bit. It was enough to get you out of... How does stabilizing work? Because you can still be unconscious, but at 1 hit point, right? For a medicine check? Does it
Yeah,
a
but
health potion?
Yeah, but depending on DM, you can be unconscious at any time after that.
Okay.
So you could determine that it takes 4 hours for me to come back to consciousness, or you can say in 5 seconds I pop back up. But
well, I would say
it's
you're
up to you
unconscious
after.
and he woke you up the first time.
Okay.
So we'll do a natural as a D4 in hours after coming back from unconscious without anybody intervening. It's 1d4 hours.
Okay.
Heck, where is it? There it is. Nice. Right on the edge again. Sewer, you're stabilized, and you come back to in 4 hours after your turtle form is dissipated again.
All right.
Update token. Also, end combat. Yes. That was. Let's see if it comes back or not. Neat.
What was that for?
The class feature that he used. That's a recharge.
Oh,
On a 5 or a 6, it comes back.
all right.
4 hours later.
4 hours later, I come back to consciousness.
Yep. He'll just wait until. Actually, he'll probably wait until 3 hours.
Okay.
Because once that turtle form dissipates, then he'll the enlarge effect wears off, then he'll reawaken you.
All right. So, in waking up, I'll sit up and look over at him and say, "I'm willing to go again, but I think I've made my point that I'm willing to endure what is necessary to continue. And whether that's you training me or somebody else, I am happy for the training. I do understand that you are an individual of great capability and that I had absolutely no chance against you. However, I understood this as a soldier as being a training moment and a moment of um, ascertaining my capabilities.
And
And
yes,
if I did not give my all, then I would be disappointed in myself."
understandable. You've definitely done your due diligence, but the fact that each interaction I've had with you, when it was my turn to take an attack, you were downed in 1 hit, means that you definitely need to do more training before interacting with me again. I can direct you to people who, if you use my name, and I will give you an actual written device, letter of instruction, meaning that they can't turn you down, as I have trained them in the past. You will be guaranteed a mentor as long as you are within the city of Waterdeep. You can leave and you can return. You can leave and you can return.
Take a minute.
That was me, not the character.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you to take a minute.
I just had to drink water. We're fine. You can leave from Waterdeep and you can return. And your mentor will still be there. With this written letter, they will know that it is actually me. And you can grow in both the arcane and physical aspects as you see fit. I see that you do, in fact, have a large amount of potential and resourcefulness. Thus, the reason I'm even anticipating or deliberating over your instruction.
That is deeply understood, and I appreciate the grit and greatly respect the amount of time that you have given me in this interaction. I hope to continue to demonstrate to you that your time was worth the effort.
And who knows, perhaps in the future there could be more training from me directly, but we can interact with this combat encounter or training session another time and see what you're capable of doing. Distant future.
Understood. I will wait until I feel as if I can at least be on par with the ability that you have demonstrated so far before even approaching you with a question of mentorship or tutelage.
That would be appreciated. He will, along with the snacks he has on his tray that he's placed on the bench next to him where you were attacking, as well as the dagger you threw at him, is a deck of cards for you.
Woohoo.
He reaches out and hands you this deck of cards. Has the capability of aiding you in combat.
All right.
What are you doing with the deck of cards?
So the first thing I will do is bow to him and gesture to the cards and the items on the tray and say, "May I?"
Yes, of course.
And I'll take my dagger and put it back in its sheath and take a few of the snacks and eat them. And then reverently grab the deck of cards and shuffle them in my hands and flip 3 cards out.
Okay, when you attempt to flip 3 cards, there seems to be... Hold on, let's do an Arcana check first.
Okay.
When interacting with this, you feel some form of magical restraint. Excellent. Here is the description for the item that has been created. I think I have it in your... Where's the roll table? Where did I put it? I guess it would probably be under roll table, wouldn't it?
Probably.
Deck of Arcane Combat. Here, let's just ping it and see if that does it.
I can see the roll table.
You can see it? Okay. Is there a way to ping the description? Oh, there it is. We'll just roll. So, I'm going to have to put that into actual item form, too. When you do your Arcana check, you sense that it pulls out this one. Or actually, you can roll on that table and it'll pull out the one you've done. Cool. So...
appropriate. The one that he
Yes.
fucked me up with.
Oh yeah, I intentionally included in these options ones that he has access to.
Cool.
So he explains after you've immediately pulled the card. You by the way, your character Lytherian does go into pulling out 3 cards, but is only able to pull out 1.
Okay.
There is a magical restraint set, so you cannot pull out multiple cards at a time.
Yeah, it's usually a playing card set in D&D. The reason I chose 3 cards is it's 3-card ante is the standard D&D card game.
Oh, okay, so it was just out of instance with your card deck proficiency. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So this effect, you have at this point in time the ability to, without expending a spell slot, cast magic missile once within the next 24 hours, or until a long rest transpires.
All right. So
He explains that this deck, when you use a card, the card dissipates from that deck permanently.
so as he flips out the card and the magic missile comes up, he's gonna when he says that it dissipates from the deck, immediately he's just going to have a visceral reaction of like damn it.
Well, you didn't wait to pull the card or ask any questions. You just did it. And so he waited until you did your action, and then he told you how it works.
Sorry. It's a habitual thing to when somebody hands you a deck of cards, you deal the 3-card ante as a show of respect for the deck of cards. And I didn't realize that it would waste the capability of the card. My apologies.
That's okay. It's your deck now. You just wasted your own resource. That's nothing on me. I appreciate the apology, but it was not necessarily necessary.
Above the table, if you uncheck draw with replacement on that roll table, it will put a lock on whatever's rolled.
Draw with replacement. Okay, cool. We'll say that there was one D53. So now in the future, when you roll on it, it'll. Well, that's the thing too, because I don't want it to dissipate. I want to. I'll have to go in manually and update it because they have a weight. There's the lower level spells are more frequent.
Okay.
I have weight in there.
All right. So yeah, if I click roll again right now, because that box is unchecked.
Yeah.
See how it locks that?
Right, but I don't want it to
blur is now locked.
Because what I want is instead we'll go in and change that blur weight to 2. Because you would have rolled blur, so that'll go to 2 weight.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll change the.
That's number of uses is the weight.
Yep.
Okay.
So we'll have to I'll do that on my own. Go in and alter that, and then also change the roll table formula. Or actually, I guess not. I guess it'll.
The roll yeah, when it drops down to 0, that roll table will drop. So.
Okay, so if I were to manually put in 0, it would lock it, or it would delete it.
No, that's the weight of the object. So, magic missile is 6 pounds. So if you reduce that to 0, it's just 0 pounds.
Wait, that means that the deck weighs 52 pounds?
Yes.
Because the way when I put in weight, it changes the value and the range on the right side by that much. Notice how the ranges are for weight of 1, it's only 52 at the bottom, and the weight of 6 is 1 through 6. It's a weighted roll. It's not a weight of 6 pounds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a weighted roll. So if you click the scales, normalize result weight up at the top right by weight range. Now it resets the roll counter.
Oh, okay. So it makes it so you dropped the magic missile by 1. Okay, that's yeah. So cool. We don't need to change anything. We can just manually drop it by 1, then click the scales, and then it stays.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So that's how that'll work.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I can track that. When it rolls, I'll look
that
at what
would
it
be
is.
ideal.
I'll reduce the weight and then click the normalize.
Yeah, that would
result
be ideal.
When I get a level in Wizard, would I be able to make my own cards for that? like with the spells that I know as a wizard, and use that as my spell book?
I would say, why not?
Okay.
Because he didn't give you a spell book, and this could suffice as your spell book.
All right.
You don't need to. I mean, you can cast them normally, because
Right.
all this does
So
is give
I'll
spells.
track them separately, but I will say flavor wise, my spell book is the cards that I make.
That makes sense.
But we can discuss later how the mechanic of me putting ready available spells into the deck of cards to function the same way as the deck of cards would work.
I would say, off the top of my head, it would probably be a week, a downtime activity to add one card in. So it would take a week worth of downtime to add a card in.
Okay.
It seems unbalanced, and that's the point.
Yeah. So if a week of downtime, meaning every day at the start of my long rest, I detail that and then take my long rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be a week, 7 days worth of work to infuse the magic. Either that, or we can go based off of scribing spell scrolls. And if you make a spell scroll, the spell scroll can be a card instead of a scroll.
That works for me.
Because
Yeah, I would like to do it that way, because if I make the spell scroll, and because that's how the mechanic of adding it to my book works, is you have to do the same that you would do for a spell scroll, but it goes into your book as a prepared spell.
Yeah, instead of a scroll that you can sell otherwise, that turns into a card.
Right.
Not only that, but you can only use the deck once per day. And if you fail on the Arcana 15, you lose it for the day.
Mm-hmm. That works for me.
Yeah, so that way it's not overpowered, but it's a balanced thing where you get a free spell once a day, potentially.
Yep. And then if I get a spell scroll,
you can put it in.
Then I can transform it into a card with some what's that called? The transformative magic.
Transmutation.
Transmutation, yeah. Transmute it into a card instead of a scroll and have it function the same way.
Yeah, so you can transcribe it into your spell book, but make it a card.
Yep. Works for me.
Instead of it being put into your spell book as a permanent spell, if you're making it as a card.
Yep.
But so that's the thing, right? You can.
It just doesn't cost the material cost and paper cost and all that because I already have to scroll.
Yes, that would be. You could take the time it takes to make a spell scroll, but it won't take the cost if you're just putting it in the book as a card.
Okay. All right. I like that mechanic. That'll make things real interesting and role play cool for me.
Yeah, and that way also you can play with cards, but they're not like going to be all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the table is actually something that you need to keep stacked.
I would also like to be able to use that card to give that magical ability to somebody else.
That works for me too. We can. It doesn't say, as of now, it doesn't say that you can. Does it? Let me see. The effect can be used for the next 24 hours or until a long rest. Based off of how I have it written. So yes, you can give that spell to somebody else.
So they would be able to use it in the next 24 hours?
I would say yes, but the same way you have mine. I would say you would have to read it and give it to them.
Okay.
So you would have to give it to them before knowing what comes out of the deck.
Yep. Yeah, that's how I do that. I would walk up to them and say, "Hey, this is to benefit you," and flip the card out. Whatever they get, they get.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that because that means if you put a high level spell in there, we'll determine the weight based off of how Actually, the weight would just be 1 because you're putting 1 in there.
All right. So like level 1 spells are gonna be
Nope,
a weight
that's
of like
nope,
4 or 5.
nope. Because we're considering each of those to be uses.
Okay. Yeah.
So if
So
you
I'd
put
have
a
to put
spell
more
in there,
uses in to get more weight.
yeah, but they cost less to make. So you could make them more frequently. That's where the weight value would come in. Those spells in the deck were easier to make. So they put them in there more than the others.
Okay. Alrighty.
And I think
Um.
this is a good one too. Let me see what I put the rarity as. I put it as rare. Let's make it uncommon. I'm gonna go in there and manually make it uncommon,
Okay.
and then update because I don't want to give you a rare item when the max I can give out is uncommon. Are you fine with this taking up one of your magic item spots as the uncommon one?
Yep.
Okay.
I find it to be more useful to my character than anything else.
Yep. I'll take it. Other people have random stuff that's tied to theirs too, based off of how their roleplay went. And I made up items on the spot like the laurel. For the bard.
Yeah. Alrighty.
And I'll be making one for all the other players, a custom one. That's not official. Give me a second. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
Okay.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright. Sounds good. I think he would just be in awe of the deck of cards and just be like trying to analyze the arcana of them and how they work and figure out how they work.
With your 16, I would say that could be decently explained based off of the information you know as a player.
Okay. And then thank him profusely and ask if it's okay if I rest there for a short time before returning, or if he would prefer if I left his home.
I would prefer you don't spend the night.
Would you mind if I essentially short rested before heading out?
You already have 3 short rests because you were out unconscious for 3 hours.
Okay. So, well, hold on. Have you ever tell me what that is? I think that one's a short rest. Yeah, short rest. Dice roll, not a new day. Roll. All right. I will walk back over and pick up my shield.
Okay.
Put it back on the holster that's on my back. And the way I envision my shield is it's the same shape as my shell. So it just goes over the shell and kind of duplicates the shape of the shell.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
So I can carry it on my back without it looking out of place. Having a giant square thing on your back while you have a giant shell on your back looks funky. So I will again thank him and bow before I leave.
But as you're walking out, he provides you the written letter.
Oh, I assumed that was on the table, but okay.
Yeah, it was. But just to make it super clear that you have that, just in case.
Okay. I'll add that to my journal notes. Come on, I don't want to make that a. Just my notes, so I have it. And letter of recommendation.
Yes. Are you looking at what the letter says at all?
Is it sealed?
Yes.
Okay, if it's sealed, I would assume that the letter is not for me. It's for the person I would be. I assume that there would be an addressee on it
There is an
or
addressee on it.
something of that nature. Okay, I
There
would
is
read
information
whatever's on
on
the
the outside.
outside. I
Okay.
wouldn't break the seal unless he specifically told me to read the letter on my way to Waterdeep or something. I
Yeah,
guess
it's sealed.
as I'm walking out the door,
Mhm.
I would say, should I open this and read it or keep it sealed and deliver it to the addressee?
You can do what you want. Just know that if you provide a unopened letter, it might not be as well received. So if you have a way of making the envelope sealed again, then by all means you can read what I wrote. But other than that, I would just be careful.
Okay, so to clarify above the table,
Yeah,
received sealed is better than received unsealed.
correct.
Okay, I will leave it sealed. I will
Okay.
just read who it was addressed to so I know who to give the letter to.
Sure. Are there any other questions you want to ask before he leaves? Before you leave.
Is there any last words of guidance I could beg from you that may set me on the furthest correct path to capability?
Well, something that could help is I can tell you where he is.
I assumed that was a part of the test of finding my own path, but I would appreciate that information.
If you want it to be a test of finding your own path, I'm okay with that too.
Is the individual in Waterdeep?
Yes, they are.
Then I would like to learn for myself how to achieve information.
Excellent.
I appreciate your guidance. Again, if there's anything that any last part of knowledge, you are a idol of mine, and I would appreciate any wisdom you could bestow upon me.
Absolutely. He's going to take a moment to deliberate. I'm producing information.
I understand. I ask questions that people don't expect players of D&D to ask.
No, and
because
that's fine with me.
I'm intentionally in my character because it throws DMs off when you're actually deep enough in your character that you actually play it the way people would play it. So,
No, I have no concern or qualms with that. I just need to think about the information. I'm not. I mean, it's
yeah,
not necessarily thrown off. It's just more making sure I give the right information.
yeah. But it does throw other people off quite a bit.
Okay. Okay. So. He has. Roll me a persuasion check.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
With advantage?
Sure. Yep. He's
Okay.
given you. You, from his perspective, you've shown something.
Whole 9.
Neat. We will give you 1 instead of up to 4, but you wouldn't have been able to get 4 because you have a minus 4. Wow, minus 4.
Yeah. You said dark deals. I took dark deals.
No, I'm good with that. That works for me. Okay, let's see.
I'm gonna laugh if he's like, be more perceptive.
He responds almost immediately with, "There are places where the air grows thick and the silence is broken only by whispers you cannot trace. In such places, do not trust what you hear nor what you see. Hunger takes many forms, and it is not always the kind that you can sate with a meal." And
Okay, I cannot type that fast. Can you put that in the
I'm
chat
copying
for
and
me?
pasting.
Okay.
There you go. I don't know why you're just saying it, because I have your token selected. That's why. You say
So that's me
muttering to
repeating it to
yourself.
myself.
Yeah. Excellent.
And I'm assuming you have to figure out what the name is of the person in Waterdeep.
No, it's addressed on the
Or do you
outside
have
of the
that
letter.
already?
No, I have that. I did that first. That is Kalith. Scrolling up. Kalith Storm Shadow Valen.
Vaelin.
Vay. Here, let me paste it for you again, just so you have notes.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I will bow and say I will recite that until it is stuck in my mind and never leaves me. I appreciate your time. I will take no more of it as I walk off into the forest.
He does not say anything as you leave. Alright. You dissipate back out through the forest. I'm gonna just at least put you outside and then
I'm headed to Waterdeep.
have the door closed. Okay.
Fanboying the entire way.
And boing, like bouncing.
Like fanboying.
Oh, okay.
Because, the glorious golden knight Lorfindar greeted me at his home and basically mentored me and gave me a writ that says you are capable, because
Correct.
that's what that says to me.
Yep.
So I'm literally like beside myself with joy that I proved that even with as little experience and capability as I have, my potential for growth was recognized.
Correct.
Do I level up to level 3 and get my Eldritch Knight powers?
You do. Yep. We
Yes!
can do that before continuing.
I am ready.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna end here, and then we'll do another session where we
Okay.
actually do stuff in Waterdeep. Ended recording.